All right, grade 10. So I'm going to be continuing with the 2019 paper for you. Going on to question 5. So simplify and write all answers with positive exponents where necessary. So first of all, what I've got here is I've got this negative exponent here. And what that negative exponent is going to do, it's going to flip this entire thing, because this is going to be to the power of a negative. It's going to want to go to the top. This is going to be to the power of a negative. It's going to want to go down to the bottom. So that's the first thing I'm going to do here. So I'm going to make this xy over 3, and that's all squared. Now notice how that's changed from a negative to a positive, and the fraction has flipped. And what I can do now is I can just, the top will be squared and the bottom will be squared. So 3 squared is 9. Okay. Now remember that this thing is 2 brackets, x plus y, x plus y. And what do we do with a binomial We FOIL it. So that will be, the first will give us x squared. Now guys, I'm just going to miss a step here, but I'll show you what I do. That times that will give us xy. That times that will give us xy. So we get plus 2xy. And then if I do the lasts, we get plus y squared all over 9. And that's the solution for that one. Okay, so for questions like this, with these exponent questions, what you need to do is you need to prime factorize these bases first. So if we have to prime factorize 4, we would get 2 squared to the power of 2y minus 1. And notice how I've put it in a bracket. I've just changed the 4 to 2 squared in a bracket, then to the original power. Okay, multiplied by, I'm going to do the same for 9. That will give us 3 squared, and that was to the power of y plus 1 all over if I prime factorize 18, that's going to give me 2 times 9, and 9 is 3 squared, and that was to the power of y times by 8 prime factorized is 2 to the power of 3, and that was to the power of y minus 1. Now, all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to look for invisible exponents. That has one, that has one. This has got an invisible one, so that's to the power of 1. And then that has its exponent, so we're happy with that. Now, when I get something to the power of something raised to another power, I multiply these exponents. So what I need to do is I need to multiply the 2 with that term and with that term. So what we get here is 2 to the power of 2 times 2y is 4y. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. Multiplied by 3 to the power of, I have to do exactly the same here. That 2 needs to be multiplied with the y and then with the 1. So we get 3 to the power of 2y plus 2 all over. Now, I need to multiply this exponent into with both those exponents. So I need to multiply it with that one and with that one there. So 1 times y, we get 2 to the y times 3 to the 2y times by. This 3 needs to be multiplied with both of those, and we get 2 to the power of 3y minus 3. Okay. Now that we've sorted that out, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get bases that are the same and then apply my exponential rules. So remember, if bases are the same and we're multiplying, we add, and if bases are the same and we're dividing, we subtract. So I've got a base 2 here, 4y minus 2. I have no other base 2's up at the top, so I'm not going to add any exponents. So now I'm going to look in the denominator and I'm going to subtract the ones that have base 2. So that's going to become minus y, and this one here will become minus bracket 3y minus 3. Okay, just be careful with this one, grade 10, because that negative is going to change those signs. I go into the next base, which is 3, and we have 2y plus 2. I have no other base 3's up at the top, so I move to the bottom, and remember I subtract now, so minus 2y. Okay, so we get 2 to the power of 4y minus 2 minus y. I'm going to multiply this negative inside here into both those terms, and we get minus 3y plus 9 times by 3 to the power of 2y plus 2 minus 2y. Now I'm going to simplify and get like terms together. 2 to the power of, so we get here 4 minus y is 3y minus another 3y, they cancel. Then we have minus 2 plus 9, which is 7. Okay, I just want to make sure that is right. Sorry, that's not minus 9, that is plus 3, so that's just a 1. Again, guys, apologies. Then we've got here 3 to the power of 2y minus 2y cancels, and we just left with 3 squared. So this gives us 2 times 9, which gives us 18. Okay. Right, guys. When you get ones like this, and what I want you to notice the difference between these two here is this one here we are multiplying each term, okay? This one here we're subtracting. Now, when you get a subtraction one, what you need to do is you need to split your terms, okay? Also prime factorize your bases. So the first thing I'm going to do is just prime factorize the bases. So that's prime, the 4 is not prime. So we get 2 to the 2x plus 2 minus 2 to the 2x plus 1 over. Prime factorize this, so this will be 2 to the 2x plus 1. Just like what we did with this one previously, I need to multiply that in with both the exponents, and we get 2 to the 2x plus 2 minus 2 to the 2x plus 1 over 2 to the 2x plus 2. Okay, now comes the part where I'm going to split. Now, if you remember your exponential law, if it says a to the m times a to the n, if your bases are the same, we need to add the exponent. So this would become a to the m plus n. All right, and that is going in that direction. But what we can do with this law is we can actually reverse it. So if we got this form, we can actually get back into this form here. And that's what I mean by splitting. So this is in this form, and if I reverse it, it becomes 2 to the x times, 2 to the 2x times 2 to the 2. So I've just split it. I'm going to do the same for this one, minus 2 to the 2x times 2 to the 1 over. Do the same for this one, 2 to the 2x times 2 to the 2. And what I've got at the top now in the numerator is I've got a common factor of 2 to the 2x. I'm going to take it out as a common factor. And we've got 2 to the 2x, 2 to the 2 is left, minus 2 to the 1. All over 2 to the 2x times 2 to the 2. Now this 2 to the 2x will cancel with this 2 to the 2x. In the numerator we have, that'll give us 4. 4 minus 2 is 2 over 2 squared is 4. 2 over 4 is a half. And that's our final answer for that one. Okay, going on to question 6 now, which looks like equations. So for the first one, what I need to do is I'm just going to distribute that 6 into the bracket. So we're going to distribute it there and there. So 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times minus x squared is minus 6x squared equals 5x. I'm going to take everything to the left-hand side, and we get, and I'm just going to arrange it now in descending powers of x. In other words, highest power of x down to the lowest. So minus 6x squared, bring this to this side, it becomes minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. Always try and get your highest power of x to be positive. So I'm going to divide through by negative. So if I divide that by negative, we get 6x squared. Divide that by negative, we get plus 5x. Divide that by negative, minus 6 equals to 0. Right, great tens. This is a trinomial, okay? I have given you the link to refresh on trinomials. You need to know how to factorize these things. Okay, so if we had to factorize this, we would get 3x minus 2, 2x plus 3 equals to 0. Then what I can do is I can solve for this. And remember, it's 3x minus 2 equals 0, or 2x plus 3 equals 0. If I solve for x here, I get x is equal to 2 over 3. Here I get x is equal to minus 3 over 2. All right. Going on to question B. Now, when you get something like this, grade 10s, always convert your fractions into, your decimals into a fraction. Now, if you don't know what 0.25 is, just do it on your calculator. 0.25 and press equals, and it'll do it for you. Okay, so this is 2 to the, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to distribute this x into the bracket, into each term there. So x times x is x squared. X times minus 3 is minus 3x equals 1 over 4. And that's how we got that. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is prime factorize this thing here. And we get 2 to the x squared minus 3 to the x is equal to 1 over 2 squared. I'm going to bring this 2 up to the top. That means my exponent is going to become negative. So we get 2 to the x squared minus 3x equals 2 to the minus 2. Now that my bases are the same, we've got 2 and 2. That means I'm going to equate the exponent. So this and this must be equal. Okay, so we get, therefore, x squared minus 3x equals minus 2. Take the 2 to the, or the minus 2 to the other side, and we get x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals to 0. I can factorize that. That's a trinomial. And we get x minus 2, x minus 1 equals to 0. So that means that x is equal to 2, or x is equal to 1. All right. Going on to this one now, because we've got fractions, I must find an LCD. And my LCD here is, if this is over a secret 1, that's also over a secret 1. So we're looking for the lowest number that 1, 16, 1, and 4 go into, and it is 16. Okay, so that means I'm going to multiply everything by 16. So 16 times this, 16 times that, 16 times that, 16 times that. Okay, so this is going to be 16 times 3x minus 16 cancels with that 16, and we're just left with the numerator, which is 4x plus 4 equals, so this will just be 16 times 3. Over here, the 4 will cancel with the 16, and we're left with plus 4 multiplied by 3, x minus 1. Okay, I'm just going to distribute and get rid of our brackets here. So 16 times 3 is 48x. Distribute the negative inside the bracket, and we get negative 4x minus 4 equals 16 times 3, again is 48. Now, over here, I'm going to do 2 steps in one, basically. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times x is 12x. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times minus 1 is minus 12. Now I'm just going to get x is this side, numbers that side. So we get 48x minus 4x minus 12x equals 48 minus 12 plus 4. Okay, and we get 56x is equal to, no, that can't be. We don't get 56x there. I just want to see. Okay, so we will get 48 minus 4 minus 12, and we get 32x equals, then 48 minus 12 plus 4, and we get 40. Divide 3 by the 32, and we get 5 over 4. Okay. Then going on to this one here, simultaneous equations. Okay. So remember guys, what you're going to do is try and find the easiest one to solve for. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to solve for this y over here. So we get, if I take the y to that side, we get y is equal to 3x. And then if I take the 17 there, we get minus 15. Okay, and I can call this equation 1, call this one equation 2. I'm going to sub 1 into 2. So sub 1 into 2. And again, guys, I will send a link for a video on this. Okay. Okay, so in equation 2, wherever I see a y, I'm going to replace it with this 3x minus 15. So we've got 2x minus 3. So this y now becomes 3x minus 15 plus 4 equals 21. I'm going to distribute this minus 3 into the bracket, and we get 2x minus 9x plus 45 plus 4 equals 21. Okay. Then I'm going to take x's to this side, numbers to that side, and we get 2x minus 9x equals 21 minus 45 minus 4. So that gives us minus 7x is equal to 21 minus 45 minus 4, and we get 28 minus 28. Divide that by minus 7, and we get x is equal to 4. Okay, I'm now going to take this one and sub this into equation 1. Okay, and we get y is equal to 3, x is now 4, minus 15, so we get y is equal to 3 times 4 minus 15. And we get minus 3. And that's simultaneous equations. Now, grade 10, on to these next type of questions. I'm not really going to go through these type of things because you're not going to really get it. I am going to send a link for inequalities that I would like you to watch. Likewise for your problem solving type questions, so your word sums and word sums. I'm going to send you the videos. Also in those videos is your finance, which I need you to go through as well. Okay, so that's it, grade 10s. Thank you.